Now, police in KZN are currently raiding schools in Inanda as schools reopen for the third term. The operation is aimed at ensuring safety at schools and that learning is not disrupted. Our reporter Jayde Paulse is there for us. Let's take you there now. Jayde, good morning. You are now live with us. Can see you at a school there. Talk to us about what's happening.
Well, a very good morning to you, Sakina. Yes, Inanda in KZN has unfortunately gained a reputation for high crime rate, especially in the schools, and this has had a direct impact on the safety of its schools. And we've seen over the course of the year several reports indicate that schools in the area face significant challenges, including gangsterism and violence. So the basic Department of Education is here with Elijah Matlanga, as well as other dignitaries on the ground, and police K9. If Nomhle can just walk with me before we speak to the basic education spokesperson. I just want to show you inside one of the classrooms, Sakina, where they are actually doing a sweep. There are police K9 unit on the ground, as well as law enforcement officers, and they have been doing this throughout the course of the morning, just checking school bags for any drugs, as well as sharp objects, and we've seen this throughout this particular school. But maybe to talk more to the initiative on the ground, especially here in Inanda, where I've just said we've seen a high prevalence of violence within our schools. I am joined by the basic education spokesperson, Elijah Matlanga. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Just talk to us about this initiative. This is possibly the first time I'm seeing police raiding a classroom here in Inanda. Efforts to combat violence in this particular area?
Yeah, that's correct. This area has been identified as one of our hotspots that has been seen by the SABC as well as DBE based on reports. So we are here to try send a message that we can no longer afford to have crime and criminality in our schools, bullying, drugs, alcohol, and the use of weapons, which we find usually when we search our learners. So we are here today as part of back to school. We're starting the third term, but we are saying to our learners here and across the province and across the country that we need to work together, make our schools violence-free, alcohol-free, and that they should focus on learning. So the police are here as part of the implementation of the agreement that we have between DBE and SABC to work with schools, work in schools, to do the work, to send a message that we need to try find a way to reduce violence, in fact eradicate it completely. But we are saying all stakeholders must come on board. SGBs, teacher unions, community policing forums, all of them are here, they're participating here. But we want parents as well to play a bigger role because these are their children.
Now, in this particular area of Inanda, we've seen several school children being stabbed through the past 2 years. That's what we've been covering here in KZN. I imagine that DBE is trying to do all they can, but talks with the principals and the teachers, because it stems from the community itself. What interventions are being done in areas like Inanda, where violence has been perpetuated for the longest time and they're now spilling over into schools? For parents that are watching back at home, for teachers, for the learners themselves, what is the DBE doing to ensure the safety of learners? Because it's all good and well that we see these raids, but in areas that we see crime infiltrating, it's inevitable that schools are going to be affected.
No, that's correct. That's why we want all our stakeholders to come on board. That's why we have members of the community here. Community leaders are here as well to take part in this. So these raids are not only reactive, they're also proactive. Police will be coming to schools to talk to learners about crime prevention, to talk about what they can do to avoid getting involved in criminal activities. But we also want parents to also talk to their children about it, but we also want communities to engage. We are saying that we want faith-based organizations to take part, community leaders, traditional leaders, everyone else, really, because crime is something that affects all of us. So we need to make sure that we take part in this, not rely on the department or rely on the police. The police, they don't have the capacity to solve social problems. The DBE does not have the capacity to solve social problems. That's why we all need to come together and do what we can. But this today, and starting today going forward, is our contribution as part of fighting crime.
Thank you very much, Mr. Elijah Matlanga. He is the Basic Department of Education spokesperson. If you can just walk with me again, Nomkle, behind the camera, and show you the raid that is currently taking place in one of the schools here in Inanda, and they will be going to various other schools. But Sakina will be bringing you all the latest throughout the course of the day. I'll hand back to you in studio.
Well, thank you so much, Jayde Paulse, and of course more on that in the agenda.